Today, we're diving into something ancient, a discipline as old as civilization itself, one that's all about this incredible fusion of raw physical power and, brilliant strategy. So let me just start by asking this. What if the world's oldest sport is also its most complete discipline? Just let that sink in for a second. Because today, we're going to break down a sport you think you know, and trust me, what's hiding underneath is way more profound. All right, first things first, we have to look beyond the spectacle of just brute force. Wrestling, it's not just about who's stronger, not even close. It's a much more intricate and demanding art form. And this right here, this is the core of it all. Think of it like a three-legged stool. It's a test of strength, technique, and mental toughness. Yeah, you absolutely need the strength, but without technique, that strength is pretty much useless. And without the mental toughness, both of those will fail you when it really counts. It's a formula that's been pushing human limits for thousands of years. So, to really get what wrestling is all about, we have to take a glimpse into its history. And I don't mean just a few decades back. We're talking millennia. This is no modern invention, folks. This is woven right into our shared human story. I mean, just try to wrap your head around this timeline. We're talking over 5,000 years ago, with art from Mesopotamia and Egypt showing wrestling. That's older than most written languages. Then you jump to 708 BCE, and boom, it's a core event in the ancient Greek Olympics. And that chain, it's never been broken. It leads right from those ancient contests to the mats we see worldwide today in styles like freestyle and Greco-Roman. And what's really wild is that after all those thousands of years, the essence is exactly the same. Two individuals, using only their bodies, their intelligence, and their willpower. No bats, no balls, no fancy gear. It's the purest, most honest contest you can find. Just you versus your opponent in a battle of body, mind, and spirit. Okay, so we've seen the history. Now let's talk about what this ancient discipline actually does to a person's body. The physical demands create an absolutely ultimate transformation. You can forget about your specialized gym routines. Wrestling is the total body workout. Every single muscle gets engaged, from your grip to your toes. You're building exceptional core, arm, and leg strength all at once. You develop this explosive, functional power while your balance, coordination, and reflexes get honed to a razor's edge. And when it comes to burning calories efficiently, well, let's just say it's unmatched. And speaking of that, get a load of this number. 900. That's how many calories can be burned in just a single hour of intense wrestling practice. That incredible number alone should tell you everything you need to know about the kind of demand this sport puts on you. So you might be wondering, how on earth do they sustain that kind of intensity? Well, it comes down to mastering pain and physiology. You know that burning feeling you get in your muscles during a hard workout? The one that screams at you to stop? That's lactic acid. For most of us, that's the signal to quit. For wrestlers, it's just fuel for the fire. They literally train their bodies to tolerate it, to clear it more efficiently, and to just keep going. They push past limits where almost everyone else would give up. But look, the body is only half the equation. The real war, the real chess match, is fought in the mind. This is where wrestling stops being a physical brawl and becomes a high-stakes strategic game. I absolutely love this comparison. People call wrestling human chess, but even that doesn't quite capture it. Think about chess. It's purely strategic, you anticipate moves, you need calm focus. Now, imagine playing chess at a full-on sprint. That's wrestling. You have to anticipate moves while under extreme physical duress. You have to stay calm and focused while you're completely and utterly exhausted. This process develops some incredible mental skills. You learn to make split-second decisions. You're constantly anticipating your opponent's strategy. You learn how to stay cool under the most extreme pressure. And on top of all that, you have to master the intense, long-term discipline of weight management, which is a whole other mental test on its own. And ultimately, when you put it all together, the history, the physical grind, the mental battle, it builds something that's way more than just an athlete. It builds character. The struggle teaches lessons that go way beyond the mat. You know, it's often said that the toughest opponent a wrestler will ever face is themselves, and it's so true. The daily grind of practice, the discipline to make weight, the courage it takes to step onto that mat all alone, it teaches you that the person across from you is secondary. The real battle is always against your own limits, your own doubts, and that little voice in your head telling you to quit. And the skills you forge in that internal battle, They are incredibly transferable. This unique combo of conditioning, strength, and pure mental grit makes wrestlers an incredible asset in almost any other elite sport you can imagine. And that's exactly why so many champions in other sports have a wrestling background. Think about the top athletes in mixed martial arts, the powerful linemen in American football, the incredible endurance of elite boxers. So many of them built their foundation on the wrestling mat because it gives you a base of toughness that is almost unmatched. This whole journey really forges a clear path for character. First, you have to embrace the grind of training. There's just no way around it. Then, you learn humility in defeat, because everyone loses. You develop a deep respect for your opponents, and all of this leads to the ultimate life skill, lifelong perseverance. You just learn how not to quit. In the end, wrestling proves that the body and the mind are inseparable. They're one and the same. And that leads to one last question for all of us. What could you achieve if you trained your mind just as hard as you train your body?